Time is not linear. It's a third dimensional construct. But aside from what we're going to talk about today with our amazing guest, Holly Loxton.
But if you are spending your time working, we've got you covered. Alltradescover.com.au.
As you can see behind our amazing guest there, alltradescover.com.au. They do insurance for indemnity and liability for small trades.
And your tools, if you get your tools stolen, which happens a lot, shout out Marabuka.
If you make any accidents or stuff up anyone else's shit, you're covered. You're covered. So
great personal service as well. Great customer service from all feedback we've heard.
100%. And they're actually getting business off us, which is good, which means if you are going to sponsor,
works.
the sponsorship is working. Yeah. Perfect.
So if you're a 7-figure company looking for a tax break,
fuck yeah.
Patreon,
manifest it.
Hard Yarns.
We want it.
Great. We can put your logo right here on the mic I always fiddle with.
Yes.
We can put your logo
right there
on the screen with our Instagram reels. So
100%.
But for now, shout out Raunchy Christmas Party, December 15th. We've done. There's already 15 or 16 sales plus there 20. There's going to be about 100 of us Friday the 15th.
The beer that's actually good.
Yep, at the Dean.
Yes.
So if you want to come and try some, I'm sure Ian will have some on tap for everyone.
Surely, yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, so that'll be good fun. We've got a few guests coming on. We're doing a pod prior to the show.
Some stand-up.
Doing some stand-up, some
freestyles.
Games. I've got some games to run by you as well, which we can play on the
night.
Games. With some of the comedians that potentially will come. Hopefully we get a couple of the previous guests to come and hopefully accept some awards.
Yep.
It should be good fun night. So
cool.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, let's do our guest. Yeah, our Patreon.
Patreon. Join the Patreon because we're manifesting money.
Yeah.
Yes, get that bag.
But we are joined by Holly Loxton. Is that what? I'm just going off your Instagram handle. It's Holly Loxton.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, cool. We are joined today. What do we talk about?
We're talking about success, manifesting, healing, spirituality, the quantum field, all the things that you need to make your human experience just that little bit easier.
Yeah.
And Delby played pretty good devil's advocate today, making sure we did push on some questions.
You're a cunt.
I just like to have things explained to me. I need mansplained to me.
But no, good episode.
Spiritual splained.
Definitely, I reckon had some of our own little realizations as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be good for listeners because they'll be able to make it relative to their own life and
look inwards, baby. Stop blaming fucking everyone else.
Yes, 100%. Fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Should we call that the episode? Stop blaming everyone else.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Right.
you are the problem.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
are the problem.
Which also makes you the solution. So that's all.
Yeah, there we go. You are the
right.
problem and the solution.
Let's get hard.
Let's get hard.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host.
Daniel Delby.
And Cameron Branch.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
Fingernail is what gets you.
Yeah, the running the fingernails. I'm looking at it. I just fucking. It infuriates me.
You got the creep on.
What, like the
You got the ick.
on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
those
even
ones.
seeing the fingers do it, I'm like, oh, you're a fucking. I just want to fuck.
Mate,
I want to
that's
smash them, bro.
those are the ones you go on TikTok and they're live and
I
they
hate it. Fuck.
Sorry, bro.
I hate
He's
it. man.
already fucked.
Honestly,
We haven't even started yet.
I don't know what. It
Is
just
this just going
triggers
to
me.
be an hour of
Yeah,
poking
poking
you?
me.
Fuck, how good, how good.
There was a double murder at Rosemount Hotel today.
Fuck yeah. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We are live.
We are live, yeah. It's been an interesting. Actually, just are you flat this morning, Delby?
Flat?
Flat. You just
Yeah.
feel a little flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you flat?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. I don't know. I pulled on that energy as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of energy and stuff that we're going to chat about. And then the girls at the coffee shop, they were like, what's wrong with Delby? And I was like, no.
What's
don't
right
know.
with him?
Yeah, I think you'll do fine today, then, Holly.
MSR, SMR.
You
No,
need-
I don't know. Yeah, it's just exhausting.
tied down. Yeah.
Is it the weight of being a white 30
It is.
I
I had to wake up to the news today.
I'm white.
Did you see the news, the front cover of the
Oh,
newspaper
no,
today?
don't tell me what.
Well, they're getting rid of toxic masculinity in schools.
Oh, what do you mean?
What are they replacing it with?
So it's boys will be boys, and it's crossed out. It says boys will be decent men. Massive funding injection for school program targeting toxic masculinity. Why is it toxic masculinity? Why isn't it just targeting shit parents?
Or just toxic people.
Or just, targeting shit cunts.
Yeah, shit cunts.
Oh, I mean, if you want to launch straight into government conspiracies, I
Yeah.
really think there's a war on masculinity in general.
There is.
There is.
So
100%.
we don't need less masculinity in this world. We need more.
Yeah.
But, you know.
That's what I fucking reckon, cunt.
Well, straight off the bat, then, why do you think there's a war on on masculinity in general?
Well, if you don't have anyone that's strong that has
a bit closer.
enough fucking testosterone to defend anyone, then who's going to fight?
Yeah, that makes sense. But what are we fighting for? Our individual freedoms, which everyone rolled over for a couple of years there.
Yeah, basically. If you look back on the span of events, it's, I mean, if only the dots were closer together, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing that people can't see what's really going on.
Yeah, well, I think they're starting to see it. And hopefully, my thoughts are next time something like that happens, like there's a mass vaccination thing or lockdowns or whatever, I hope that there'd be people not rolling over. I think it will, though.
Well, it depends, man, because that's a toxic masculine thing to do. Is to fight for your rights.
They've just done it with inclusion with the cricket. Do you see that? They're changing the Adelaide historic cricket board scoreboard, and they've changed it from batsman to batting.
Why?
To allow for.
Surely people can understand that batsman just means the person at bat. You don't need to fucking change.
That's toxic, Daniel.
Fuck me, bro.
That's.
It'd be like if I was playing women's netball for years.
Yeah.
They've played whatever it is. If I decide to come and play that sport, then I would not demand them to change anything to suit me.
I don't want to get you angry. You're already flat today.
Well,
We don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about women.
He's already triggered.
Well, it's not even women. It's just like
fuck women.
It's anything that's been happening forever. Why the fuck? Like, just grow a backbone, get some resilience. If I was to go to fucking, I don't know, Pakistan, and they've done something a certain way for 100 years, and you make something with Kashmir, I'm not going to go in and go, no, I need you to fucking change this for me. Like, just go, oh, cool, that's how it's done. Let's roll.
Totally agree.
But then on the flip side, maybe I'm wrong because like if we've done the same thing the same way for 100 years, maybe we can improve it.
Yeah, but the banking system is the same.
Yeah,
It was made by people who literally thought the world was flat.
Yeah. Well, it's doing well, man.
It's doing well for people.
That's why we need a global currency.
Oh, one world one.
Yeah.
That's a conspiracy one. But you are introduced to us, but you're actually our second or third hookup through Heidi.
Bless her. What a legend.
Yeah.
And she last person she brought us was Boris Walter.
Oh,
which
yeah, I
is
watched his one.
looking at becoming our most popular episode of the year. So
I'm going to book in with him.
yeah, well, he got a bit of work out of it, actually, it looks like. And even John Elliott, he's going there. A few people are going there. So this is it's pretty cool. So potentially, if you do a good job today.
Oh, no pressure.
But explain to us what you sort of really do and why she's decided to hook you up with us.
I knew you were going to ask me that question.
Is it one of those like...
It's so hard. I don't have an elevator pitch for you.
Yeah.
Basically...
Give us the stairs pitch. We got two levels of stairs to get through.
Oh, it's really fucking hard for me to describe it because I basically do everything.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking vanilla ice of personal development and healing. If you've got a problem, I help you figure out how to solve it.
Okay.
And it's always an internal problem first before it's an external problem.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So anything circumstantial that's happening in your life, especially if it's like a repeated pattern in your life. If you're saying things like, oh my God, why does this thing always happen to me? Or why can't I have this result or whatever? It's like, take your eye off what's going on in front of you and go and figure out why it's happening inside of you first. And it's going to be one of a few things.
Now, keep going.
It's going to be trauma or programming, both of which affect your belief systems. And your belief systems create your entire fucking reality.
So is it like those situations that you say are repeating and you constantly having those? They could be considered external because you're like, well, I didn't have control over that. Or are you subconsciously putting yourself in a situation where you're going to experience that same thing?
Yeah. 95% of who you are is unconscious to you at any given time.
Okay.
Some people I look at, I'm like, oh, we're edging up around 99% there. But
Yeah.
it's all to do with your belief systems. That's what is going on in your subconscious mind and your conscious mind to a degree.
Okay.
And how that's affecting your own personal reality.
So when you say belief, does that mean it's affecting your motivation to lean into something potentially, or like to fully, like we talk about it on a practical sort of sense? If you cut the cords, for example, when you take a leap, you sort of have to make it work. You have to put the work in to get it done. Is that sort of, if you don't have that belief, is it working on a similar sort of way, or is it just subconsciously you're sabotaging yourself?
Yeah, so blocks and sabotages are the same thing essentially.
Okay.
Right? So if you've got a block towards something, and that goes for anything. It could be money, it could be a relationship, it can be like epic health or whatever. If you just can't seem to get there, tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
If you can't seem to get to something, there's going to be a block there in you. And it's your job to go and figure out what that block is and why.
Okay.
It's going to be something to do with safety, usually. So you either don't feel safe having it, or it's going to be that you don't feel like it's available to you, or you don't feel worthy and deserving of it. They're usually the big three.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and that very much comes down to a lot of childhood shit, whatever you were programmed with in childhood.
Stuff that we spoke about with Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's like whatever you think you're worthy of, you'll do. If
from a young age,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I think I've spoken about it on the pod. I can't remember, but like me having that realization recently that like I probably not sabotage, but have that with relationships now. Obviously, with me probably having a situation of betrayal, I guess. Now I don't trust, or maybe I'm sort of protecting myself. Is that the self-sabotage? You're not open to love, or you're not open to those sorts of things?
Yeah, so if a block happens before you get the goal, if you manage to get the goal and you don't have an internal map for it, or you don't feel safe with it, you'll fucking sabotage it.
Yeah, okay. And how would we do that? How would I sabotage a relationship if I am in love with this girl and I've gotten past what I thought I could get to? How am I going to sabotage that? Or does it you can't make comment on that because you don't know internally?
How have you sabotaged them in the past?
Oh, I don't know. Probably smothering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably not smothering, but maybe like neediness.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that leaves the other person feeling very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And then essentially you're giving them like that desperation energy.
Yeah.
Which then is just repelling them away. They're like, I just can't fucking do this guy. Like.
Yeah. Because mine has been like, my ex-wife left me, so I've got that fear of, I guess, abandonment sort of thing. But would that stem then earlier from like childhood, for example?
Usually. Absolutely.
But there's no abandonment with my childhood though.
It doesn't have to look the way that we think it's going to look. So abandonment, especially in the realms of trauma. So trauma, very, very, very briefly, is anything that your nervous system couldn't cope with and you didn't have the either the support or the time or the help to like process whatever that event was. Yeah. So this is where in my work as a trauma therapist, I would always ask people whenever they have like abandonment issues and that sort of thing. It's like what was your birth like? Mm-hmm. What was your mum going through when she conceived you? Mm-hmm. And
an orgasm, my mum was. My dad lays the pipe, boy. Runs in the family, man. That's why I'm always feeling good, man.
Perfect, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
So, like, from when we're studying trauma, we really do take it from conception.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole boatload of people that I've worked with over the years. I've been doing this for almost 6 years now. A whole boatload of people
At
that...
the immigration centre. A lot of trauma there.
There's a lot of trauma
Whole
there.
boatload.
Whole boatload.
We've got ankle bracelets on him at the moment, trying to fucking find him in the community.
Delby's back. There he goes. He's up.
He's
He's
warmed
up and
up.
about.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I'll be here all day.
Let's try the duck.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I got too serious for me, man. I needed to break it.
Got to lighten up.
No, yeah.
Humor is a great way to break up bullshit.
Yeah.
I
for
swear
sure.
to God, like, God gave me a really dark sense of humor because he knew that I was going to have to go and be able to laugh at some really horrific shit.
For sure. If you don't laugh, you cry.
Exactly.
So cry with laughter.
Cry with laughter.
Yeah. So there's a boatload of trauma.
Yeah, so we're in this really interesting time in humanity where we've also got a whole bunch of ancestral trauma that we're dealing with. So if we look at our ancestors, you know, our grandparents and their parents, we're only just now coming out of what they were experiencing during the wars. And now we look like we're headed into another one, which is fantastic. But it's passed down from generation to generation.
So we've spoken about this in regards to things like the lost generation, is it the Aboriginal children being taken away, and how that sort of, I guess, generational trauma would be passed down through generations, but that would be through storytelling and saying, you know, this is what they did to our family, blah blah blah.
Passed down in the DNA.
So yeah, and this is what. So what do you mean by passed down generational? From like, we got no stories of that. Well, we got stories of my grandpa telling me about war and that. But
Well, I would imagine it would be more like, all right, granddad's gone to war. He's murdered a few Viets. He's come back. He's got trauma from doing that. He's shut down with his wife, or he's lashed out, and then the kids see that, and then they're like, all right, well, cool. That's how I'm going to act. And then it just gets passed down. And with the lost generation or the stolen generation, they don't have mum and dad there to pass on values and see what the thing is. So you've got that whole missing chunk of learned behaviour and role models. But
but you're saying there's
a lot of people running around feeling like shit, and they've got no fucking idea why, because they look at their own childhood and they're like, well, nothing was really that bad. Like, why do I still feel worthless? Why do I still feel depressed?
fucking no resilience, man.
No resilience is one thing, but it's also like programmed into them. We've got a massive worthiness issue in society. The biggest problem for most people is that they don't feel enough in some way. Pretty enough, smart enough, good enough, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all bullshit. But if you think about it, we exit the womb being advertised to.
Yeah.
And if they don't have any pain, like, they create the pain first so they can sell you something. You're not enough of a whatever. Here's the solution. Have this nice car and this nice house and a white picket fence and 2.5 kids.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a midget.
Fuck. I don't know if it's like I like run myself like almost experiments to test like trusting the universe.
Turns out he's not gay.
To try and test whether like, you know, trusting the universe or seeing the signs or, you know, changing my mindset on certain things is going to result in you know, manifestation. And like I see it from time to time. I tried on Friday, and I don't know whether these are coincidences or not, but I was feeling fucking shit house, like terrible last week. Had a heck of a week. And then on the Friday morning, I decided I just changed a few things mentally. I don't know what happened to me, but I had like an epiphany. Fuck it, you have to take control. It's all on you. And then within that, like 10 minutes of making that sort of mental change in my head, I got 2 messages from people I needed to get messages from. I got paid a certain amount of money that I've been waiting on, and yeah, all these things happened within like 10 minutes. Now you could go, what a fucking massive coincidence. You've been waiting on that anyway. Bang, bang, bang. But it happens too commonly for me to see that. Like it's become too common for me to disregard it as just coincidence.
I don't believe in coincidence personally, especially after doing so much work in the realm of manifestation and healing and seeing the most like just wild like synchronicities, coincidences, whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it coincidence, that's fine. My only concern is how do we manufacture more of them?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah.
fuck what you call
because
it.
Delby's elite at manifesting.
I'm the man at best.
He does. I don't think he knows. I think it's because of the fact that you don't try. Hey, would that help in that regard? Because Delby just like constantly will be talking and will say it. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this, and we'll repeat it like by accident. We'll just talk about it over and over again, and then the next day he'll be like, "Bro, I literally manifested this," and it was something we've been talking about exactly that. The day before.
Looking for a free gym membership.
Yeah. Perfect example. Yeah. And then the next day getting called up by a gym.
I said to Branchy, I was like, man, I want to try get somewhere to hook me up with some free training. And then he was like, we got Zach Langdon coming on. I was like, oh, maybe that. And then I was like, it'd be good to get, track my progress. And then literally that night I got a message completely randomly from Air Locker Training going, hey, we've been watching your stories. We'd love you to come down on a 3-month membership, train for free.
Or even as as simple as like, Delby's like, we need to get a climate scientist on. We need to get a climate scientist on. Like, we need to get one. I'm going to email as many people as I can. And then he went to host a quiz night.
All climate scientists.
It's like, what the fuck?
The whole crew.
You got 12.
There was 60.
He didn't even know.
Yeah. There was a climate science table. There was a biology table. There was an animal specialty table.
And we got the climate scientist coming on Thursday.
Yeah.
So, but these sorts of so what? Okay, what's
soulmate, blonde boobs.
So, fuck, you're gonna get one.
Come in the door.
You're getting that now. Delby's like that, and I think there's something more to it because he doesn't block it because he just says it and it happens. I think sometimes if you're trying to manifest it, like trying, like I want this, is that a block?
Absolutely, because if you want something, you're saying that you don't have it, right? So from what you've described, it's more like
you say it and forget about it.
You already know that this is going to happen. You're just looking for how it happens.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're letting it go. Okay, this is going to come in from somewhere. I've just got to like take the action and put it out into the field and it's going to come in somewhere. But you've got that surety that it is coming in.
Yeah.
Right? You know that it's going to come in.
$100,000 contract, Delby, coming in.
Oh, that's a given.
Your sponsor. Yeah.
That's a given. Mm-hmm. But that'll be middle of next year.
Oh, why are you making us wait?
Well, it's what's going to happen. It's what's going to happen.
Just collapse time, bro. What are you doing?
Someone's going to call. Yeah, fuck you. Now we have to wait till June.
Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe not.
Maybe not. It's happening in late December.
This year?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
December,
so you mean in
January, in about a month.
In 4 weeks?
Someone's going to go, you guys, I see the potential. I'm getting in before you blow up.
Do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
On board.
You would not believe how fast and just so much more amazing than you could ever possibly imagine this shit can get if you do it right.
Yeah.
But you got to, the biggest part of it is that you got to let it go and you just got to work on whatever's blocking you inside.
Give us some case studies, some case examples of people you've worked with. You can change their names and that, but give us some, someone's come to you with a problem.
Oh my God.
This is what happened. This is what we learned.
There's so many stories. I had a guy, one of my private clients, he has been working with me for about a year. And I was just speaking to him yesterday, actually, because he wrote me a testimonial, which was amazing. Bless him. He was already doing pretty well. Built himself a 7-figure marketing agency.
Does he need to sponsor a podcast for a tax,
tax
write-off?
Yes. I'll ask him.
Great manifestation.
We're on!
Done. One sentence in and we've got our sponsor.
But if we then get a sponsor, then you'll know who this story is about.
Oh, yeah.
So, redacted.
No, he'd be fine with it. He's, so we dialed in his vision and we really looked in at everything. We did a little bit of internal reprogramming and everything. And the shit that has happened with him and the speed that it's happened has been wild. He literally he was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to need a general manager to grow my business because I can't do everything anymore. And someone actually approached him on LinkedIn. It was like, I actually find these people for a living. I'm going to do it for you for free. Saved him tens of thousands of dollars. Found two amazing GMs, ended up choosing exactly the right one. And it's just been strength to strength. and now he's actually starting an e-com supplement business and all of this other stuff. And the synchronicities and the ways that thing has just been clicking into place, you couldn't write about it.
But how? So like you said, you did some internal shifting. What was it? Because like that's all good and well to hear.
Yeah, because what if it's just a random chance that he was already progressing and
Like, what were the steps that like he's got whatever the issues were. How did you rearrange? What was the actual like process of that?
So we've all got these internal limiters, right?
Yeah.
Because we've basically had experiences in our past that have told us that we can't do a certain thing, or that something's going to be really difficult, or that if you're going to have to grind to get to a certain level. When we actually go in, so the style of therapy I do is like somatic trauma therapy. We had to go back in and do a lot of reprogramming in his subconscious mind from things that had happened to him in like early 20s, that sort of stuff. Like just little ways that he was blocking himself from that limitless expansion. So we went in and did a bit of that. Obviously, I do a lot of like spiritual coaching and using the esoteric wisdom and taking people through plant medicine journeys and that sort of thing, which is really helpful for expanding their minds.
Is that just code for we smoke weed and talk?
No.
What's plant medicine?
Gummies.
Yeah.
No. Mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, sick.
Mushrooms I use with my clients.
Cool.
And that is one of the most amazing tools to completely delete any issues of worthiness.
Yeah.
Because once I don't know if you guys have had mushrooms before.
Well, no, it's funny because I literally said to Delby, was it last week? I wanted to get on the mushrooms, not for fun. I wanted to,
Oh, you'll have to come
delete
in.
trauma.
You'll have to come in for a ceremony.
Yeah.
So, just going back in, because it's so hard to access those deep parts of your subconscious mind. This is why I say doing mushrooms is like doing 20 years of therapy in 4 hours.
Okay.
Because you're getting into that real deep stuff, but you're also going out as well, and you're connecting to the divine. You're connecting to like your soul essence. Some people connect to God, all that sort of stuff.
Well, it's serendipitous you talk about that because we've got Dr. Steve Bright coming on tomorrow who works specifically with psychedelics and it's
For addiction.
and it's but specifically with addiction and drug and alcohol related traumas and stuff like that. But actually this week is turning out to be very aligned.
It's almost like you're manifesting it.
Yeah, is that just because he's
Well, it's funny because I literally messaged Delby last week saying we want to get these sorts of styles of guests on, and then bang, 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 it all just worked out that you three are on in the same week.
Yeah.
So that's a really good example of creation, right? It's pure creation. Manifestation is pure creation. When you're in alignment with what's going on for you, things will start dropping in easily, provided that you don't have any of those internal blocks. You obviously don't have any internal blocks around this apart from the fucking cash.
Yeah. And
Right?
my time.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
time.
Time's an internal block. I'm pulled so many different ways with what I do.
Yeah, which is why I'm trying to lean in to go full time with this, for example. So then it's less stress on both of us because then I can try and organise a bit of stuff and just give Delby a time. Can you get here? Can you can't? Blah, blah, blah. And then work on that. But cash is a block. I think probably money for me has been a block my whole life. I've never struggled, but I've never been able to just break through the fucking, shitloads of cash. So I'm interested. What's it like? What sort of blocks are related to cash and income?
So that's actually one of the things that I work with people a lot is abundance mindset and breaking through glass ceilings. We call them glass ceilings.
Yep.
Do you know what those are?
That's where the women are.
Yeah.
Why did you say it like Borat?
Because he does an interview. I think he's like, where is the glass ceiling? The women.
Yeah. So the glass ceiling. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't
It's
know,
like a
if
false
you're
belief
listening-
of yourself.
Well, it's not necessarily a false belief. It's that you can see where you're going and you're on that trajectory, and then it's like, thunk, you keep hitting against this imaginary thing that no matter what you fucking try,
Yeah.
it just doesn't seem to shift. So
Yeah.
you just can't get to that next level.
Yep.
And that shows up a lot in money because so many people have shitty money beliefs, right? You look at the programming of our society, even I'm 37 now. At school, we're really just taught, go to school, get a job, go and work for the man, whatever. Earn a 6-figure salary if you can,
Yeah.
and you're doing a good job.
Yep.
most people have issues around money. Every single person has a money story. If you weren't born into wealth, then you've got very different money stories to someone that was.
Especially Italians.
Because I find a lot of people who break through that money barrier then are very time poor or stressed.
They can be.
Or
That's
relationships break down.
Yeah.
And probably that's something that once I started breaking through the money barrier, the stuff that I probably had going on, I started having issues in other areas, time poor, relationship breakdowns, all that sort of stuff. So
I remember I beat my money block because it was something my brother told me.
Yeah.
And if I compare it each year, like I still didn't make, I make good money, but when you take expenses and shit away, it's not as good. But my brother just goes, money's just like energy, man. He's like, it'll come in and it'll go. It's come and go. So it's like, there's going to be times where lots is coming in and lots is going out. Mm-hmm. He's like, don't stress about it. Let it just flow. And ever since then, the money flow has just gone exponential. Just from that little shift of me, instead of stressing about it, just going, oh, cool, like I've got $1,200 to pay out here. Bang, I'll just do it. Yeah. Because I know it'll come back next week. Yeah. Like we've spoke about this before where it's like, fuck man, I got no, and then all of a sudden you'll get like 3 jobs coming you forgot about.
Yeah, well that's
so
it.
When you're being stingy going, I can't pay this person. Yeah. I just do it. And then I'm like, fucking, I'm sure that it'll flow in back the other way, and it does.
Yeah. I've started to lean into that. I've started to. Still hard. Like, and it is funny. You start leaning, it starts to work. Like I'll buy a laptop that I don't know if I can afford, and I buy this and I buy that and I buy that, and then you start to get this money start to come in, and then I'll pull back. I'll be like, no, you need to save a bit of money, and then you're like, no, fuck, go back to it, and then it works again. Yeah. So like, why don't you just like that all the time? So
because you go into contraction, you go into scarcity, because that's what's been programmed into us in society, right?
Yeah,
and we've got so much pressure around money. Money has such a very how to put this,
dominant presence.
Yeah, people think, like, how many times do you think about money every day? Every time you buy something, you're going to think about money. Yeah. Every time you open your banking app, every time you
hang out with a girl.
Yeah, every time you're hanging out with a chick, you're always thinking about cash.
I must pay.
No, that's
because I'm not toxic,
Daniel.
No. Yeah.
But so what is the difference really? I guess between the abundance mindset versus the lack or the scarcity mindset.
Contraction versus expansion. So if you're easy with money, if you're like, oh yeah, cool, money comes to me so easily. Every time I spend money, like it's just back. Opening up for more energy to come back.
Yeah.
One of the massive things that I teach people is to treat money like any other energy. Right? It's just, you've got to circulate it. It's like water. Yeah. It's like air, essentially.
Okay.
That's how the economy works, really. But it's so funny. It's easy for us to say that, but if someone's got like $600 left, I've got a kid to feed. Yeah. You're like, no, fuck it, man. Let's just let the money out, and then the kid just starves.
That's always my issue. For me, I'd never care if I got down to my last couple of bucks. If it was just me, like, I'll do what I got to do. But if I got Scotty, I need in my head, I need this buffer of money in the bank just in case something happens. I've gone way below that buffer now by just spending and paying a shitload of bills on purpose. So I'm trying to lean into abundance mindset versus scarcity, but it's difficult. It's not easy to just jump in. So
yeah, it's really fucking hard. It's the hardest. Leaning into faith and actually understanding what faith is as a substance and learning how to work with it in the field is the hardest fucking thing you'll ever do, because you won't get a tangible result immediately. One of my favorite quotes is, a faith that can't be tested can't be trusted. Right? So you're going to have to learn how to sit in that void, which is really fucking uncomfortable. And still trust and still know that you're the creator of your reality.
It is hard to trust, because I know this, that it's, if you're going to trust the universe, and I've said this on the podcast before, if you're going to trust the universe is going to send you what you want, but it's going to test you. It's going to tempt you to go away from what you want. It's going to push you. And how willing are you to push through those tough times? And so, and some people hate Andrew Tate, but he talks about this all the time. He talks about being, a service of God, and he's like, you can ask the universe, you can ask God for whatever you want, but God's going to say, how fucking much do you want this? And his thoughts on him going to jail is like, I want to be the top G. If I want to be I want to preach this being mentally tough. I want to be preaching this. He's going to put me through the fucking hardest thing I've ever done, which was go to a jail cell without knowing how long you're going to be there and knowing it was probably for wrong reasons.
Yep.
So
if you're gonna, and I've totally been caught in this before, and this is like the humility part of the spiritual journey.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting into your ego and you start bragging about shit, you got to be prepared to back it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's really like you got to put your money where your mouth is. If you're going to start preaching stuff, you've got to be totally dialed in to actually having to fulfill on that.
Yeah.
One thing that I would present to most people, because everyone's like, oh yeah, universe, God's testing me, whatever. What if God wasn't actually testing you? What if it was teaching you? What if it was actually equipping you for the thing that you said that you wanted?
That's always the way. You'll present like a scenario where you have to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, it's an
Whatever it
opportunity.
is, yeah.
So if you want to be, if you are, say you've got a business and you're currently sitting at 6 figures and you want to get to 7, and you really, really, really want it for whatever reason, there is a whole bunch of shit that you're going to need to learn and experience, and that's the shit part about experience. You can only get it through actually doing the thing. You are going to need to learn all of that in order to have the to be equipped enough to run that business. If someone was to hand you a 7-figure business and you're making 50,000 a year, you'd crash it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Right? Where we get into using the esoteric wisdom and manifestation and healing and all that is because we want to collapse that time. Right? We don't want it to take 10 years because who's got time to fuck around?
Yeah.
Why do it in 10 when you can do it in 2?
Yeah.
Yeah? So, as I say to people, if your goal is here and your starting point's here, you've got all of this shit that you need to learn and you want to collapse time and you want to shorten that distance, it means you're going to have to make more changes to yourself in less time. So you've got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, it's going to be like a
That's
bit of a storm, a bit of a shake-up, yeah.
Yeah, that's the part where you get like ego deaths, you get all of this just bullshit, and you've got to be able to roll with the punches.
Now, I'm going to be a case study for this. I was
do
talking
it.
about Delby. I was talking to Delby about this. Like, if I'm going to fully jump into this so the first time I took a leap of faith was going from sheet metal fabrication to my media business. My media business already had like I knew I was going to earn $80,000 to $100,000 that year through my business because of already jobs booked and residual income. So it wasn't a risk. It was just it was a leap of faith because it's a bit scary. You're going out on your own and you got to rely on yourself. But it wasn't a risk per se. This one is literally throwing everything away, throwing all of that and going into this where there right now is enough to pay for this studio.
We don't even have enough for this rent.
Well, I think we're covering not with.
Why did I pay rent yesterday?
We've got enough money to pay rent, and that's it. Probably a couple $100 more a month total if you add in like our Patreons and everything.
So if anyone's looking for a podcast sponsor,
it's
just putting the word out.
It's literally
manifesting.
not. I would be getting no money.
Yeah,
but none. So this is a proper, like trusting the universe that
Cool.
something's going to work.
All right then. We'll have a chat after and we'll see how we can collapse time for that.
Yeah, but the thing is,
mushrooms.
The thing is, it's not
Should
like
do
this,
mushrooms about it.
Yeah, potentially. But this hasn't been a decision I've just gone like, fuck it, I'm going to test the universe. I've seen the signs, I've seen everything. Like, it's been coming to this point so many times. It'd be coming to the even the clients that I'd have. I'm like, fuck, this is not working. And then you know what you got to do, but you don't do it because I need that money.
Because of scarcity.
Scarcity mindset. So this is, I hope to be no, I don't hope. I'm going to be a case study for the universe.
Nice. I did a abundance. There was a thing going around on Facebook maybe 2 years ago. Abundance group or abundance something or other.
Okay.
It's 21 days of abundance. That's what it was called.
Oh yeah, I
the
remember you
Deepak Chopra one.
Yes,
might have been.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I remember you sent it to me.
Well, yeah, it was good because I wrote down. It came true.
I think Sammy Ritchie sent that to us as well.
Yeah. I didn't. I don't think I did like the last 4 days, but on day 4 or 5, maybe. I don't know. You might know better than me. It got you to draw what your abundance looked like. And I drew the footy going through the goals from a certain angle, winning a huge bet. I drew my horse winning a lot of money. And then literally like 2 weeks later, I won $3,500 or something from the same angle that I drew of the footy going through in the last 14 seconds of the game.
That, yeah.
And then my horse broke its leg, but the new horse I got won 3 races.
Yeah, yeah.
And all of that.
Now, why did you do it in betting? Just because you felt like that was the easiest option to manifest?
Well, I was just thinking about what was happening at that point in time. And then I drew some other abundance ones, like me holding a girl's hand. So I got a hand job that was sick.
You got a girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah. Was it? Yeah, I think it was just after that. Yeah, right. I might have to draw an orgy next.
Oh, fuck it. I'm going to do Deepak Chopra's 21 Days of Abundance then.
Yeah, but it's like, it ended up being like one of those chain letters, you know, with the emails back in the day, where you had to like do something and send it on. So as soon as it got to that, I was like, oh, fuck that, man.
What do you mean do something and send it on?
Like, you know, when it's like, when back in the day where it's like, send this email or you get 7 years bad luck or send this to, dunno.
Yeah.
But it was like, now, I understand.
Maybe that's
the
why
abundance
Sammy
thing.
Ritchie sent me the... That's exactly why.
Yeah, but it was like the abundance thing. It's like to share the abundance, which I get, but I just don't like fucking hindering people.
Yeah.
Best,
My headphones just went out.
best marketing tactic ever by Mr. Chopra.
Yeah.
Just if you don't do this, you're
Yeah.
not circulating the abundance. Quick, get it out to everyone.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit of a brain twister for you.
Yeah.
In that particular scenario, given that time doesn't actually exist,
Yeah.
and the only time is like right now, and every single frame that we're in is always right now,
Yeah.
are you actually manifesting backwards?
What do you mean?
Sorry. Explain. I don't...
Yeah.
Well, it's only our human brains that live in time, right? So you're sitting there drawing the footy posts and the horse and all that sort of stuff. Are you creating that, or are you tuning into your intuition as to something that
It's
is
already
already
happened.
happening?
That's true.
So tuning into like for the listeners at home that might want to visualize it, like a...
Like Interstellar.
Interstellar, like the 5D representation of a third dimensional world where
That's
you can
already
actually go
happened.
through.
But it's funny you say that because with my bets, I quite often, and it sounds fucking like a degenerate saying this, but I quite often get a feel where something's already happened or I'm like, oh, this is the right thing to do. And 99% of the time, if I follow that,
It's
comes
your gut.
Always. Almost always. It's like, yeah, I
Isn't
know.
that funny? Because I'll do the same if I'm at a TAB and I'm betting. I'll use that as an example. I'll be like, oh, that one dog looks good, but fuck, it's paying $15.
Yeah, and then it comes in and
and then it
wins.
comes in and wins.
Yeah.
And it's the first one I looked at.
Yeah.
And
It's
then,
always...
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
go with your gut, I trust that.
And then
yeah.
you try your head to go, oh, no, I'll get more if I do it this way.
We should do that as a YouTube thing. Let's go to the tab or whatever and go,
see
right,
how
what's
close
your
we are.
gut? What's your gut? And go out of 10 and my gut says 3.
Yeah.
Really?
Sure.
Well, I'm going with it.
Yeah. I got a lot of good examples of that. Like when Gary Ablett was playing, I was like, I told everyone he's got to get 40. I put like $300 on. I'm like, I know he's going to get it. This is his history. This is that.
Yeah.
Higgy goes, I'll give you a blowjob if he gets it. So Higgy owes me a blowjob because he got 40 touches and I won $5,500.
Classic.
But it was like I was aligned with the betting gods and Gary Ablett, the god.
And Gary Ablett.
But
The good thing is it doesn't matter what you believe in. If you believe that it's helping you, it will help you.
Oh, yeah. I definitely agree with that because some people would be like, oh, I don't buy into the spiritual stuff or I don't buy into the woo-woo, whatever. But if it's working, what the fuck's the difference? What's the difference? Whether it's just a mindset change, they might say, oh, it's not magic, it's not manifestation, it's not the universe, it's you've changed your mindset, so you're recognizing opportunities, like I might say with the reticular activating system in your brain. But then who gives a fuck? If it works, it works. That's like, yeah.
All the mindset tools, all of the healing stuff, and you can't split manifestation and healing, I don't believe. Like if you're wanting something and you don't have it right now, there's some shit that you need to work on. You either need to heal it or reprogram it. That's the only way you're going to get there. But the interesting part is like if you just believe that something is helping you, even bonus points if you can believe that it's actually an extension of you, because that's the actual truth. Right? We are all little slices of the divine wandering around in human bodies. There is no difference between any of us, which is a really interesting place to be. And
Mushrooms get you there pretty quick.
mushrooms get you there pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yes.
We're all the same.
We're all the same. We're all one. Yeah. We're all, aspects of God. We don't we don't realize how powerful we actually are. So it's only our human brains that get in the way.
Yeah, I agree. Sounds like a church,
Yeah.
but except we don't give money to the church. Fucking, I can't stand how religion has turned that into profits.
Well, the basis
Not
of
the
all
right kind of
religions
profit.
is all pure in love and awesomeness,
Yeah.
right? So it's really the human ego that has used it for power and control, because that's what ego does.
Yeah.
And we've got our individual egos, and then we've got our collective ego. So if you look at it, everything that's happening in the world is happening on the individual level and also on the collective level as well. We've got a massive issue where we're thinking that we can be attacked, and we're attacking other people in retaliation.
Yeah.
Happens in our interpersonal lives, happens on a grand scale.
One can't help but think that dogmatic religion was hijacked specifically to create those sorts of
100%.
issues.
Ego is very clever. Wants power, wants control.
Or if you go off, was it you who sent it to me, Delby, the other day, the Bob Lazar on religion?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Nuts, eh?
So briefly, maybe we could play the clip.
I want to see it. I'll find it while you talk.
Yeah. Just type in Bob Lazar religion. But he gives a bit of a breakdown on it. For lack of a better word, he just said we were always just shells for we must not be connected to the internet. We're shells.
We don't have the internet.
Yeah, I've got the internet.
We can't afford it.
Lights are off.
Yeah, we literally don't have. We got a hotspot.
Yeah, we'll set up it.
Oh, we mustn't be on the NBN. Oh, that's right.
No, I was on before. Basically, Bob Lazar was saying that we're just shells for the
Containers.
Yeah.
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 And that's pretty interesting because he's pretty
But a
on
lot
to
of
it.
spiritual people say that we're just a container, but they just use different words for it. Like,
Yeah, I like skin bag.
yeah. Ball bag.
Skin bag.
Meat sack.
Meat suit.
Yeah. Containing the soul or whatever it is. I think it's the soul anyway.
It is. And then the soul then is like an individualized aspect of the greater one, if that makes sense.
Well, I think it's split from the source or the greater one, from what I believe. But
You pulling up this clip, Jamie?
yeah,
It's hard. We've got to get used to pulling up the clip while we're
talking.
while we're still talking. But I'll talk. But yeah, my belief is that we are just we're infinite spiritual beings of light contained within a human meat sack, having a temporary human experience, and we're all going to return to source to be that one sort of. I guess, or Delby seems to have found it. That one sort of source of light, like a source of energy.
It's the highest octave of unconditional love,
Okay.
basically.
This is an old one though. But fuck, it's pretty long. It's longer than I remember.
I remember you finding it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got it here, but it's not on.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't have to hear it or listen to it anyway.
Oh, it's too long. It's like for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So it's not worth it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but regardless, it was for someone like him, for Bob Lazar to be talking about that. He was saying that the beings that they had not constructed us. What was it?
He
Genetically
reckons that,
modified us and created
whatever
us.
we're genetically modified from. They genetically modified Jesus and 2 other prophets to keep everybody in moral alignment and to get us all behaving and create a religion, so we would just have a good moral code to live by.
Well behaved.
Yeah.
Instead of just killing each other.
Yeah. Anyway. We went down a UFO alien.
Yeah.
religion
But
thing.
it's still
We butchered it, but
yeah. But it still is. It's still pretty interesting, that sort of stuff. So when it comes to like when you're saying alignment, you talk about like chakras and those sorts of things as well, or is it just alignment with your path, alignment with
chiropractic
the
alignment?
way? If you're saying you should be living a certain way, it has to be you should be living by these morals. Is that what you mean?
Well, we're always in alignment to something. You're in alignment to whatever's in front of you right now. If it's shit, you're in alignment to shit. So sort it out.
How do you get out or in?
Yeah.
Right. So basically, if you look at it like, okay, I'm living this life right now. It's pretty average. I really don't like it. My relationships are fucked. My money's fucked. My health's fucked. Whatever.
What's the common denominator there, mate?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how, honestly, man, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
People just want to fucking blame their external circumstances without looking inwards.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It's like when I was teaching year 10 science, I was like, my class is fucking shit, man. I was like, they won't do anything. They're so shit. And then my mentor teacher was like, well, it wasn't my mentor, it was my boss at the time. He's like, well, what are you doing? And I showed him. He goes, would you enjoy that lesson? I was like, no. He goes, well, why do you think they're going to love it? I was like, oh, fuck. So I flipped it inwards. I was like, okay, what am I doing? I'm going to make sure that I can provide the best possible from here to this next section to this. It's going to be engaging. They're going to learn. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, my class was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that they were a shit class. It was that I was a shit teacher. So it's same thing applies as in any point, any part of your life. If you're like, oh, fucking girls don't like me. I can't get money. It's like, well, what are you doing, man? Look at what you're doing and stop blaming other people. And that's my fucking bane of my existence is people that want to blame external parts of society, or we want to put our own, what's the word I'm looking for? Put your own,
Insecurities.
No, like if something's not going right, instead of going, oh shit, I need to lift my game. Let's all fucking help everybody out. Like, let's go, the housing markets. Oh, the housing market, the rental market. Poor me.
Yeah.
Fucking sort your shit out. We don't have to bring everything else down to fit the lowest common denominator. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's the victim hole of misery, as I like to call it, is very far-reaching. It's very deep and it's very wide, and there's many, many, many ways that you can get into that.
Yeah.
If you want to get out of it, you've really got to tune in to, okay, if anything was available, because it fucking is, if anything was available and I still had to be in this particular body, I couldn't just jump into, I was going to say the Queen of England, but she's fucking dead. Yeah. I couldn't jump into being born from wealth because at this point in my reality, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Delby,
I still want to be
keep touching your microphone, and that's why it keeps cutting out.
Okay. That makes
So stop playing with your microphone.
Right.
Is the message there? Nothing changes if nothing changes, Delby.
So my mic, there we go. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But that's actually a good, like, nothing changes if nothing changes.
True.
Yeah, but we can't jump into the Queen or whoever. Like, we can't jump into.
It takes a lot of spiritual development to be able to go and zap into other people's bodies and shit like that. That's like Jesus level.
Yeah.
Jedi mind tricks.
Or alien level.
Or alien level.
Yeah.
But if you want a certain result, you've got to start thinking and acting and feeling like the person that does those things. You can't sit there at 150 kilos if you want to be 60 kilos and just be like, yes, I'm just going to visualize it. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be so shredded.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there eating bags of fucking shredded cheese.
Yeah.
Like, it's not in alignment with what you want.
Kind of alignment with shredded.
I just got to point out, it's so funny watching you, Delby, at the moment, going from. So all the listeners would know this. Every time you hear this, that's Delby like playing with mics and touching shit all the time.
Yeah.
You've just become conscious of it. Watching you just go like and start to look like Stephen Hawking, like and start playing with your your chair and stuff.
Shredded cheese. Alignment.
I feel bad. Play with it, Mike. I feel bad now.
No.
You need one of those squishy toys. Someone get him a stuffed animal.
Because that's part of the ADD, I guess, is it? Like always having to do something with your hands?
I think so.
Is that what you've got?
I could be Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, I don't know. I just always do this. I didn't realise it made a sound though.
Yeah, constantly.
Oh, sorry guys.
It's always like...
Because I can't hear it in
Can
mine.
you hear that? That's what they can hear.
Yeah,
He's trying to do the ASMR that he hates.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh my God, that's what it is? Coming back to kill you.
Yuck. I'm I'm sorry.
To haunt you.
See what you hate, anything that you hate, and you try to push it away, it comes back at you.
I hate blowjobs. I hate blowjobs. They're the worst.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, I've got ADHD before it was cool.
But before it was cool.
Yeah, about 12 years ago.
Going back on what you were saying before, with that, nothing like taking accountability and taking self-responsibility for your actions, and if something's not working, just make the change. So obviously,
It's easy for us to say here, man.
Oh,
Like,
no,
we've done well. We've got good parents. We fucking
Yeah.
But if you're if you haven't got that like solid foundation behind you, it's going to be way harder.
100%. Doesn't mean it's not possible, though.
Yeah.
So like a kid in Africa obviously has a even tougher
Mfufu.
has a far tougher situation. Doesn't mean it's not possible for them to do what they got to do. So
On that note,
yeah.
I hired a coach a few months
You're
ago.
going to say I hired a kid from Africa.
On that note, I know I have a
On
kid in
that
Fufu.
I hired a spiritual mentor a few months ago now. Nigerian bloke, was born into serious poverty.
Yeah.
And got himself out of it. Now
You know
a
how?
multi-millionaire.
Sent emails going, I'm a Nigerian prince. Send me the money.
And he was really good. You know, he was a prophet, and I paid him a ridiculous amount of money to do a little
prophet
bit of
like
prophesizing.
PH or F? Profit.
Yeah.
So he was actually a prophet
Yeah, he's
that
good.
charged money to be a prophet.
Yep.
I don't know if that aligns with my beliefs, man.
But the thing is, though, like you still have to get by. You still need to get by, and if you're good at what you're doing and you're going to make people money out of that, I have no issues.
Yeah. it's
I
a
still
weird
don't.
one.
I don't do it because I got scarcity mindset.
Well,
I was
is
like, no,
this-
I'm not wasting that money.
Is your money story popping up here, Mr.
Oh.
Delby?
I think it's my disdain for church or religion to create.
Money.
What about healing?
Healing, I can understand.
Let me break it down for you. When we were in tribes, basically, all the healers, the prophets, the medicine people were all looked after by the tribe. And they were highly revered, and they were, you know, they didn't have to worry about any of their survival needs being met because they were so well looked after by the tribe. We don't live in that anymore. I did not want to build a fucking business, right? I just wanted to be in my magic, help some people, heal the world, all of
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. Having to do marketing is the bane of my fucking existence. I hate it.
Yeah.
But I have to do it because I have to get in front of the right people, and then I have to charge them money because we don't live in a barter system anymore. So if you take the view of money just being another energy,
Yeah.
then why shouldn't people
I guess when it
circulate it?
when it doesn't align, it depends on the circumstance. But when you see the preachers of the super church, I can't be
And
on
it's
board with
because
that.
there
I hate
is-
that. It's clearly the biggest scam of all time.
Yeah.
They got the fake teeth, and literally saying, "I've got the biggest house in Carolina."
So that's the
I
thing.
got the
God
whole.
gave it to
Why
me.
does God need me to have the biggest house? I got 24 boats, and everyone's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? Give her everything you can. Why do I need the largest boat? Oh, I had 24 people on my boat on a weekend. And people are like, woo! They got nothing. And they're giving to this
Yeah.
fucking absolute creep, man.
Because that's sort of what's the saying? Throwing away the bath with the bathwater, or
Baby with the
baby
bathwater.
with the bathwater.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing there, because like there are fucking hacks and scammers and
100%.
terrible
They're
people
everywhere.
out there who are just trying to take advantage of people.
Are
But
they? Or are they just in a line with their money chakra?
No, they're
And
definitely.
they've figured out a way to be abundant. By just ripping
Well,
off.
potentially, but like they're genuinely taking the piss. They're taking advantage of people from their moment of weakness and trying to make money out of it.
It's the
Whereas
worst.
you have people who are genuinely making change and having a positive impact.
I want to bring up the guy that just.
Yeah.
You keep talking.
They're sort of what was I saying? I don't know. I got distracted then.
Lost it.
What was it?
We need a Jamie.
We need a Jamie,
You
so
need
we
a
don't
Jamie.
have to do all this.
Come on, Jamie.
I can't remember what I was saying there.
About having the biggest property. Oh my God, this makes my blood boil more than ASMR.
Does it?
It's the injustice that you get the shits on with.
It's just, the messaging doesn't align. Fuck, we need a TikTok instead of a YouTube, bro, because it's all the TikTok clips.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's up. Yeah, we'll try that with the next one.
Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, even that nothing changes.
Televangelist is the word.
That nothing changes when nothing changes. Like a perfect example is like that. Bring it down to a physical sort of thing. Like if you want to work out and get fitter and stronger, like if you're just doing the same thing every single day, what do you expect? You're just gonna things are just gonna change. Like even recently, like I was having shoulder problems and I kept on doing the same things, and I was like, well, of course, like if your shoulder's constantly sore, maybe fucking change up what you're doing or try and figure out why it's doing
it's
that.
called RSI, repetitive strain injury.
Yeah, so I've fixed the issue. I've added a couple of different exercises to my program, and now it's the pain's gone. So like I've been dealing with this pain for fucking 6 months, like agony, like barely able to sleep on it. Like why the fuck didn't I just make the change? Because it's a little bit extra hard work. Yeah. But I've fucking made that.
No one gets out of doing the work, mate.
Yeah.
Like you've either got to do the work in the actions that you take, or you've got to do the work in your internal belief systems to get to that level of belief where you really fucking believe with every ounce of you that you can pull money out of thin air. And that's where the faith comes in. Like you have to train the faith. You're not just going to have faith. And don't get me wrong, if there's people going through some dark shit, the worst thing you can hear when you are at rock bottom is, just have faith. Like that, it's fucked, right? When people say that.
Yeah.
But it is true as well at the same time. Like you do need to cultivate your faith. You need to cultivate your willpower. You need to do some work on yourself. You need to go and heal, reprogram, do all that shit. I think if everyone just took 6 months off blaming everyone else and their external circumstances and just went, all right, we're just going to go inwards now. We're going to sort a bunch of shit out. We would have a completely different fucking world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I'll preach, go with the flow, go woo way, trust the universe.
And then you don't.
And then the fear, the scarcity mindset, and we're just talking money there. But like all of that will come in and I'll be like, I have to think practically. I have to think logically. And then if I look at it from another perspective, if Delby was to come to me and say, I think I should be doing this, but it could cost me a lot of money or I could lose this, and I'd be like, trust your gut, bro. That's what I would say to him. So why wouldn't I say that to myself? And if I fucked up, like for me, I'd be sitting there yelling at myself going, you fucking idiot. Like, why? Like, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? But if Delby came to me and said, I fucked up, I did this, and I'd be like, well, no, don't blame yourself. Like, you can work on this. You can, I'd talk him through it kindly.
You have compassion.
But I would blame myself because I'm not blaming anyone else.
Yes, but be compassionate to yourself and just be like, that's understandable. There's reasons for this. Let's work through this and find a way. Instead of going, you fucking dumb cunt. Like that's how you talk to yourself, but you wouldn't talk like that to your friend.
There's
like
a
if I did
difference.
something stupid, you wouldn't go, you're a fucking dumb cunt. You might like,
Well,
but you know what I mean? You'd be
Yeah.
like, nah, bro, like come at it from a different angle.
Yeah.
Do it like this.
We always
So you
wanna
should
take-
treat yourself the same way.
Yeah, we want to take ultimate responsibility all the time without hanging shit on ourselves. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. This is showing up in my reality. It's not the way I want it to be. It is what it is. I'm going to work on whatever I need to change inside and outside in order to get a different result.
Now, how do you do that? So it's easy to say do the work or heal yourself. What does that look like? What is that?
Look, it's going to be different for everyone because everyone's got different shit. If you've got a shit ton of trauma and it's in your body somatically, then you're going to need to go and find someone that can work with the physical aspect and the nervous system in order to release that. I think everyone should do that anyway. It's one of the fastest ways that I've seen to heal subconscious shit that we don't even know is in there.
Have you got any recommendations of people, if people are listening and that's the first step they take, do you have someone that you recommend? Or you smash it
You're
out?
selling yourself.
No, I've got a couple of people in Perth that are absolutely amazing. So Liz McComish, she's a friend of mine. We both did the same trauma training course, and she's just an absolute weapon when it comes to trauma healing. Georgia Rose, she's another really good one, and I've got a bunch of others.
And do they do like remedial massage or something, or is this something different?
No, it's a completely different style of healing.
What is it?
It's working with the body to unlock trapped emotions in the nervous system. So when we repress shit, when we haven't had the ability, as in any time of our life, any traumatic incident that has overwhelmed your nervous system and you haven't been able to recover from, quite often we repress shit.
Yeah.
And things like anger, grief, that sort of stuff get
Body
packed
holds
down.
onto it.
Your body holds onto it. So being able to actually get in there and unlock that and release it is really important.
Yeah, I know that to be true because I wasn't quite emotional, but it was a bit of an emotional release. Where is it? The the deep muscle tissue that's sort of in your stomach area, the psoas.
Yeah.
Is that really well known for holding emotion?
Psoas is usually fear related, yeah.
Psoas, and there was one other section, and I had a remedial, and he goes, almost everybody here will have some sort of emotional release because this is where we store all of our emotions. Yeah. And he went in and it was fucking, I like it though. I'm masochistic like that. I like the remedial and the pain.
It's your toxic masculinity, mate.
Yeah, that's it. I like getting your ITBs, but he would hold it there and slowly release. But yeah, that was like an emotional release as well as a physical release. So that was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And my friend went to him and she said she started crying because of all the stuff that got unblocked, but not from pain, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there's a whole bunch of really good remedial therapists and all that work with body.
Yeah, I do an emotional release about 9:30 each night. I got a block. I just got to get it out from deep inside of me. Physical.
Oh, classic.
Physical release of emotion.
And so, like,
it's a poo. I don't know what you guys. I don't know what you guys are thinking about.
How important is like having something like a good morning routine, like a good way to wake up? Because I mean, you see these fucking influencers like, my morning routine is this. Like, I'd love to do. You want to do that Huberman skit?
Yeah.
I want to do the fucking single dad morning routine. I get up at 5 o'clock to start doing my emails early, and then at 5:05, my daughter comes through with piss stained sheets, and I have to start doing the washing, and then I have to hang the mattress out, and then I have to fucking make a breakfast.
Why don't we do a Huberman style clip, but for being a dad?
Yes,
as a skit.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Talk
we
about
should do that skit.
Or something?
Yeah. I wake up my day, rest assured that my daughter's going to wake up and piss me off.
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't manifest that.
No. She does it every morning. You should see my morning routine is literally get up at 4:45. My alarm will go off. I will hit snooze once. Bang. I'll be up at 4:55. I'll start doing emails. And if I get a good morning, Scotty's asleep till 7 o'clock and I can get it all done. But if she like pisses the bed or something like that, she's going through her toilet training and bedwetting. Like it's up, it's get her showered, make her breakfast, get all the bed sheets, put them in the washing machine, hang the bed, clean the mattress outside, and then make her lunch. Like and then it's 7 o'clock and I haven't done anything, and that's the start of my day.
That's what you get for having sex.
7:30.
Right. You go to sleep at 7. She goes to sleep at 7:30.
Yeah.
What do you do after that?
Yeah, that's where I make up for it.
Yeah. So
there's no excuses. I don't find excuses.
Extenuating
but I just find it
circumstances
quite
really.
funny that people like, oh, I've got this morning routine, or they say, oh, I've got so much to do, and I'm like, fuck, bro. Before 7 o'clock, I've done 58 things, and you haven't even woken up.
Yeah, 100%.
Correct.
Yeah, that's Delby. No, but you've been getting up early lately.
Yeah, I have, but Sunday threw me out.
Yeah.
I was up late.
Yeah. But there's I don't find any excuses. If that happens, I just go, well, I work harder during the day. Yeah. Means I can't go for a sauna, which I work my day around prioritizing, making sure I do some healthy things. Where it might be meditation, might be go for a run, might be weights, might be sauna. I have to get something done every day. And if I have to do it at the end of the day, at night, it is what it is.
Get it done.
It's more about like where can you find the time to anchor into your deeper self, right? Where can you find the time to connect to your higher self, your deeper self, whatever you want to call it? Like, where can you find the time to do a little bit of that reprogramming and really be on purpose in your fucking life?
Yeah.
If that is just all day, every day, and you're constantly doing the work and you're driving down the road, and a really good technique that I use with my clients when I'm teaching them about manifesting stuff is called an anchoring technique. Every single time you stop at a red light, have a conversation with yourself.
I do this. I was about to say, I do this when I'm driving.
What do you do?
I manifest when I drive, and when I stop at a red light, I'll literally focus on what I want to achieve in the future.
Yeah. And then let it the fuck go. Know that it's already done.
Yeah, that's literally when I find time. I'm like, where am I going to do it? I do it while I drive, and every time I stop, obviously I'm paying attention to the red light, but I'm manifesting what I'm going to do in the future all the time.
Yeah,
I'm a natural.
You're a natural.
Yeah. That's the only time that I find where I haven't got other shit like going. What is it, like idle time is the devil's
Idle hands, I
Idle
think that one,
hands,
mate. So
or whatever
put 'em
that
away.
is. Yeah.
Sit on 'em.
So when I'm sitting around, I've got so many options that I can't focus on one thing. But when I'm driving, I know that I've got to focus on the road, and that's my thing. And I can sort of almost, I have one other objective, if that makes any sense.
Like that.
It's the one place.
I like that.
Yeah, but when I'm in my laptop and whatever, I'm doing my work, I've got 85 things I got to fucking, and I can't center myself, you know?
Centering for someone that's dealing with ADHD is really important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking hard. Driving is the only time I get that. So.
One thing I would say makes a massive difference for everyone is actually prayer.
That triggers me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're
Good.
you're seeing that from like a dogmatic religion,
Yeah.
prayer to God sort of point of view.
It's got
But you're
nothing to
saying
do with
prayer to
religion.
yourself,
I'm
like
saying,
manifesting.
well, kind of, but like prayer in the way of sending out healing vibrations or good vibrations or love vibrations to the world around you.
That's prayer. Like just hoping everything gets better.
I don't hope.
Just saying everything will get better or everything is better.
This is what I'm committing to. I'm committing to putting my energy out. I send my energy to my clients, to my friends, to my family, to the world. I pray for peace. I pray for love.
Sounds like the start of a song.
It does.
I attest to that one because it comes back, I think. For example,
100%.
I put out into the universe only last week. I was like, I'm going to start putting in my daily meditation, abundance, love, given and received. I don't know why I decided to put that in one day. I just decided to put that in. And
Probably so we could have this convo.
Yeah.
literally that morning, I was at the coffee shop, not thinking about anything, just having a coffee, took my daughter up there with the dog, and a guy came up to me, walked past, and he's like, hey, what was it? It was Cam. It's Cam, hey? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, you're a hell of a dad. And I was like, oh, thanks. He's like, just thought I'd say that. And he just walked off. And I don't need that
Did he
external...
say dad or daddy? Maybe he was hitting on you.
I don't need that external gratification. I know I'm a good dad. But, like, that fucking was incredible. Like, it gave me, like, butterflies. And it wasn't until the afternoon that I realised, like, I put that out in the universe that I wanted to receive love. Wasn't specific in what sort of love, but that was really nice. I've never met... I've maybe sort of half seen him in the coffee shop once before. He didn't have to do that. So, like, yeah, it comes back. It definitely comes back. Put stuff out there.
I'd love to know the science behind it all because it's pretty fucking like...
Look into quantum physics.
Yeah, see, people say that and they can't explain it, you know?
Well, we sort of had...
Like, because my mate Chelsea that we have on here, she's got the Healy. Have you seen
Chelsea
the Healy?
follows you.
Does she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the Healy, and I just want to know how it works because I'm open to it, right? I believe in, like, resonance and frequencies and stuff, but when she's like, oh, I go, how does it work? She was just like, oh, it's quantum. And I'm like...
So
you can't just say it's quantum. You need to explain more. Like, oh yeah, it's just quantum physics. Oh, cool. Trust. That's that faith thing. I have a very hard time.
You're very logical.
I just would love to know how it works, and then I can get on board.
Yeah.
All right. So Wi-Fi
Why?
works.
Yeah.
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 It's a frequency.
Yeah.
Same.
You tune into it
Right.
You tune into it with your device.
like a radio.
Yeah. So if you think of yourself as a tuning frequency, you're tuning yourself to the reality that you desire.
You're the antenna.
Which means you have to be a match in your frequency. You have to, if you really want, for whatever reason that you say, if your belief system is, right, I will work really hard and I will be a millionaire, and you are so certain with that, and you work your ass off and you get to that $1 million, congratulations, your belief system works, right? If you train your belief system where you're like, okay, everything always comes to me so easily and effortlessly, and you work on that and you train on that and you dissolve anything that is not that, then that will happen to you in your life. Okay. And not only that, anything that is challenging that pops up, you'll see it and you'll go, well, it's obviously for my highest and greatest good, so I'm going to love that too.
Yeah. See, loving the obstacles for your highest and greatest good is
that's the tricky part.
That's a tough one, but I've started to see it not in hindsight. I was seeing them in hindsight. Now I'm starting to see them as like, I'm going to grow from this, or I'm just choosing to. Whether or not I can see what I'm going to learn from this or not is another story, but definitely I'm trying to see that, like, well, this obstacle is fucking toughening me up, or it is making me more patient.
Some of that's robbed me of true experience, I think, is having that blind faith, that mindset from how old was I? 23 when I left, and read Journey of Souls, and then got onto all the other books where it was like, no matter how bad the thing that's happening is, you're going to have something positive from it, or you're going to learn from it.
Yep.
And that's robbed me of all of my true experiences of like getting mad, getting upset, having grief, fucking having a sook.
Because
now I just go, oh, cool, like, that's fine.
What, you wanted to experience those things?
Yeah, because I've been robbed of that, man.
You want to be angry and grieving?
No, I just feel like that would be a more true experience. It would be more in alignment with what's happening at that point in time. Does that make sense?
because
Now that something horrible happens to me, I'm always like, oh, that's fucked, but whatever, let's move through it.
it
Have you not
depends.
just hit the apex of what we're doing here?
Yeah, but like, isn't it, shouldn't you be able to, I just want to be able to think, I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like I can't connect deeply.
Yes, because you look at it I think you look at it too logically instead of experiencing the emotion, moving through it, and then using it for growth.
Yeah, I miss out on that true connection to that experience. Instead of being overwhelmingly sad or angry or pissed off, and then being able to move through it, I just cut that out, and I'm like, well, come on, well, let's
You
move forward.
dissociate from the feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like having that mindset has almost robbed me of being more connected to how I should be truly feeling.
But what if that is the ultimate goal, is to get to that point in life and you're already there?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like that. Did I send you that that clip the other day with the Mexican fisherman?
Yeah.
Like you're working to get to a point.
If you're already
you
there.
were already there.
Yeah.
So that for the listeners that don't know it, there's a clip going around where it's just like the Mexican fisherman who said he would work, he would fish in the morning,
Catch enough fish for his family.
Catch enough fish for his family, play with his kids in the evening, and then go to bed and do it again. And then the American businessman came along and said, no, well, why wouldn't you hire a heap of people, make more fish, and then industrialise it and make it bigger and bigger, eventually getting to a point where you could spend more time with your family. And he's like, well, I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
Like it was all to get to a point which he was already there. So sometimes you're already there. It's already there for you to experience. Not sometimes. It's always there. It's always within you. And sometimes we just overthink it. And yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one, though. Potentially that's all you're doing. Or maybe you're already there. Maybe you're able to just experience life in a way that you should, from a watcher point of view.
I like to watch.
Cuck.
Yeah.
Because watching your own thoughts is quite empowering.
Yeah.
Because it's helped me navigate certain situations where actually watching my own thoughts, and maybe it does rob you of certain.
I feel like I have been. That's what Chell said. We did the Healy the other day because I'm open to it, but it's fucking $3,000.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I don't know, man. But like
abundance.
That
mindset.
The Healy reading was like, I believe in like spirituality and manifestation, all this stuff, but it's not. I'm not in alignment with it because I can't.
Let me give you a hot tip. Do you know what a placebo is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Great band.
Yeah. It's a great band.
Yeah.
Roll with that. If you don't think you can get on board with believing that it'll work, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Same goes with anything. This is why, especially in the medical industry, we've got all of these illnesses that the pharmaceutical things, it works for some people, it doesn't work for others. It depends on how on board with your belief system of something working for you. This is why every single drug that goes to market has to be double-blind placebo trialed.
Yeah.
Because we cannot discount the power of the human mind and the belief systems.
Which is crazy. That's how we use our medical.
Yeah.
That's what we use as a measurement for medical success, is whether or not our mind could have healed it in the first place.
Well, even if it is a placebo, it shouldn't cost me $3,000 to buy a device that's going to use my placebo.
Well, if you pay $3,000 for it, you're probably going to really want it to work, and so you're going to believe harder, right?
Yeah, which pisses me off.
So don't get one then. You don't have to.
But I'm like, if it actually worked, it shouldn't matter what my...
But maybe you don't need it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if something actually worked, right, it shouldn't matter what my intention or what my mindset is on this thing, on this device.
What if it's all belief?
Then don't sell me it for $3,000.
Then don't buy it.
Then don't buy it.
Yeah, but what I could give you an MDMA tablet and you would definitely feel the MDMA.
But don't buy it then.
What do you mean?
Just don't buy it then.
No,
cares?
I know, but this is just one example.
Yeah, so that's just someone being this is, you know what that would
If
be
it
for?
was-
That's for someone who's not as spiritually aware or onto it as you, and they're just trying to use
It's
it
a
as a
teaching
device.
tool.
Eventually, they would get rid of that device regardless.
No, but that sucks because if it truly worked, you should have the device because it would, no matter what you're thinking, it's going to help you get back into that frame of mind. If it truly worked, it shouldn't matter if I hope this works, so it's going to work.
Yeah, but sometimes you need sugar or coffee to get through the day.
Yeah, no, you guys.
I know what you're saying, but sometimes you just need that little extra little help. If it's already there within, my energy's already there within. I can be a little bit tired today. Fuck it, I need a coffee just to get me through it. So that's that little bit of a boost. And eventually, you'd probably not need it if that's how you're thinking.
Yeah, but no, that's not what I'm thinking.
Frequency and vibration do work because everything is frequency and vibration.
Right. So it should always work no matter what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you're also emitting vibration and energy and frequency from your thoughts.
So if it's combating it, it wouldn't help, would it?
If you're on board with it, it's going to help you.
Yeah, I understand what you guys are saying, but it should be more powerful than that and overtake
Why
whatever.
should it? Why
Because
should
that's what it's designed to do.
Is it? Or is it just meant to... Is it for someone who's not as onto it as you? I would never get anything like this because I always think it's something you can do from within. Or I always think that you can do everything within.
All I'm saying is,
But...
if I got a phone, my headphones just kicked out, didn't touch anything. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
we can hear you.
If I have a phone, this phone is going to call your phone no matter how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So I know that I've put money into it. It does what I want it to do.
Yep.
So any healing device should be the same. It shouldn't matter how I feel about that healing device. I should be able to trust it to sort me out and it's done. No matter what I'm doing.
It depends on the subtlety of it.
What do you mean?
Well, we've got all these different bodies, right? So we've got our mental body, emotional body, all of these different bodies.
Yeah.
It depends what realm that device is working on. I have one of those devices.
Yeah.
I haven't used it in ages because I just don't need it.
Yeah.
But I should probably actually start using it.
Yeah.
Good. We should run an experiment.
Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah, let's do that.
My friend and I want to borrow it and just literally just test it out. Because if it works, fucking hell, that just came back on. If it works, sick, you know. But it shouldn't matter how I fucking feel about it. But then that is quantum because I'm looking at whatever.
Yeah. Being able
But
to...
I'm just saying, like, scientifically, if I got an MDMA tablet and I had it, I know that it's going to 100% work and I'm going to feel... It doesn't matter if I go into it feeling pissed off, shit, whatever. As soon as that hits in...
This is
it's
why
happening.
I think your manifestation works so well, is because you don't try and you don't try and understand it. And then as soon as you get into, I need it to work, I need it to be logical, I need it to be practical, that's where it would all come undone.
I know, but doesn't that suck?
Yes.
Like, that sucks, man. Because it should be, you should be able to fucking... I don't like being a charlatan and I don't like proposing something to somebody that I know I can't explain or back up how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, like...
But you don't know how a phone works.
Yeah, but I'm sure I could...
But it works, yeah.
Yeah, I could figure it out.
Could figure
the
out
science is behind it. If I go this, and this, then it will... Therefore, this will happen.
Do you think, though, that maybe just at this particular point of our human evolution that we don't have possibly the tools
I
to
agree with that.
register?
I've said that for the last 15 years. Yes, that's probably true as well.
Because we also didn't have Wi-Fi, X amount of years ago.
Yeah, like trying to understand 5D, for example, from a third dimensional point of view. It was
Very
like,
difficult.
So the best thing they could do was like, and they got, they used a physicist to try and put together the tesseract that displays a third dimensional version of the 5D in Interstellar. And that was the best logical way they could picture it. But that was as close as they could get. We don't have any understanding of how that would be to exist in that sort of point.
I wonder if AI will be able to do that for us.
Time is the issue.
Yeah.
With most things, right? Our human brain operates in the constructs of time, and we think that everything's linear. So
in the third dimension.
Yeah. And so if we are collapsing that and we're going into the 0 point field where everything and nothing is at the same time,
Yes.
our human brains can't
can't
wrap around that. You're like, hang on, how can nothing and everything exist at once? That doesn't make any fucking sense because our human brains operate in time.
Hearing astrophysicists talk about this, like when you hear them on Rogan or that, or any sort of YouTube video, talk about this in a real world sense, and they're just touching the edge of what we know, is fucking mind blowing, because these are people with the smartest brains on our planet, acknowledging that it's real, it's an actual thing, but we have no idea.
Is it real, or is it a theory that humans have come up with to explain what we can't explain?
That's another theory.
Like,
I think, well, look, we're probably not equipped to ask that one, but as far as I'm aware, it's just maths.
have they proven that there's 12 dimensions?
Yeah, I think they've proven that there's 12 dimensions.
They have?
Minimum, I think it was.
Right.
It's infinite, I believe.
Infinite, yeah.
Because
Infinite is the theory, but the 12 is what they've proven or something. But hearing, was it Weinstein? Weinstein on...
Harvey?
No, different one on
Right.
Rogan.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Fuck, man. It was like I couldn't listen to it anymore. It wasn't
Too
it
hard.
was too hard,
Yeah.
and he was breaking it down in the most bland possible way he could. And I just like, there's no,
I thought you were saying Harvey Weinstein.
there's no way
double D.
there's no way I can understand this at all.
Yeah, right.
But maybe we're not meant to. Maybe the whole goal is to actually have faith. And when they say have faith, that's been hijacked by dogmatic religion. But faith is genuinely the ultimate measurement of whether something's going to be successful or not.
Well, our biggest problem, I think, is that we keep, especially in the realms of spirituality and manifestation, we're putting God and the universe outside of ourselves, right? When everything is energy. We're like fish that are swimming in water. We just don't realize that we're in it because we think that we can't see it. But if you start seeing every single thing as energy, including yourself, then really you're just using your consciousness to direct that energy.
Which we are energy. That's not debatable. That's
Science.
everything and anything in this room is energy, just vibrating at a different speed and frequency. So
use your consciousness, develop your consciousness in the skill of directing it.
I'd love to see some sort of scan of when somebody is trying to tune into our frequency, what's happening. Is it coming from our pineal gland? Is it coming from somewhere else?
Yeah.
I'd love to see what's actually happening.
Well, that's the whole essence of the Om sound, is vibrating at the frequency of the Earth, I think it was. The planet Earth, or was it the universe?
It's also the heart
And
chakra
creation.
frequency, apparently. But the interesting thing about the Om is that particular vibration is really good for the vagus nerve, which is what we need to calm our nervous system down.
Wow.
So it's so good for that peace and that calm that we're after.
Yeah, so it's not only energetically good, it's practically and like scientifically good.
I'm going to do the Om when I'm betting for my vagus nerve. Because doesn't the vagus nerve run from your head to your ass or something?
Yeah.
Or in your butt?
Exactly that.
Yeah. It does, right? Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm conscious of your time.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Hang on, time's not a concept. Right?
Yeah, time is linear. So
I look weird without my headphones on in this.
Oh, yeah.
I feel fucking like
Naked.
a rat.
Like a rat.
Little dry rat.
So maybe as we get towards the end and we finish off.
I'm going to finish on some Oms. Oh, my headphone just kicked in when I did that.
Oh,
frequency.
Frequency.
Oh, my God.
What's like, let's say you're I don't want to say generic, but you're a pretty straight bat and you don't buy into any of this stuff. Where
Shall
could
we
they
roleplay?
Where could they we could role play. Where do they start with this? Where's the point of
Let's
entry?
roleplay. I'm a phone call. Hey, go on, man. I heard on Hard Yarns. Well, fuck, this is all bullshit, cunt. Fucking, I can't get any money, man. My missus fucking hates me. It's fucked, bro.
Is this
That's where I roll. There's a
Yep.
phone call, Holly. What do I have to do? What do I do?
What do I do, bro?
Yeah.
What do I do? We're talking real muggles here.
What's the muggle? I don't watch Harry Potter. Yeah, like your normal. Or is it like that, or is it someone that's like, nah, this is bullshit?
Yeah, just a
Like I was just talking about.
Daniel Delby, like logical, practical sort of thinking. Like, look, I'm open to the idea, but I don't believe you. How can you convince me otherwise? And where do I start if you think I should lean in?
If you want to start in the non-woo-woo spiritual way, I would start with mindset, right? Mindset's a pretty easy one to start with. If you can start changing your thought patterns and then you actually take that for a test drive in your life and you split test it with your reality and see which works and which doesn't, you get that data back and then you've got something to work with. You've got data. Start looking, like open your reticular activating system, your RAS, that's your filter on reality. Start looking for the synchronicities because when you're open to them, you'll see a lot more of them. If you're closed and closed-minded, you're going to have a harder time with everything. So you've got to decide, do you want to be open? Do you want to maybe try some new shit and maybe try a new different way of looking at life? Or do you want to stay stuck in struggle? Because it's pretty shit there.
How do I be open and look for things? What am I looking for? Let's say relationships. That's what I want to work on.
Oh, that's a big one for you. I don't know if I can help you with that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Nobody can.
Jesus Christ.
Only I can because God is in me.
Ah, yes.
My head can't. So let's say work. Right? I'll call you, I got issues at work. How would I be open to synchronicities? What am I looking for at work?
What would be your goal? Pick a goal.
I want to get a promotion.
Okay.
I work as an IT guy.
All right.
I'm stuck at a school. I'm just fixing computers around the school.
Okay. So we'd first get you to figure out what it is that you actually want, not what your society told you, not what your parents told you, not what your fucking school teacher told you.
Yeah.
All of that. Like, what do you actually want?
Okay, so in
your
this,
life to look
my
like?
role play, I actually want respect because people don't treat me nice around there. They treat me like a lackey around the school.
Okay. Well,
So I feel like a promotion is going to get me more respect.
Well, you got to start respecting yourself.
How do I respect myself?
Why are you doing a job that you fucking hate?
I like systems, but this is the only place I could get a job that involved computers.
Right. I'm pretty sure if you put your mind to it, you can go and find somewhere else that will treat you better, with better respect. But you've got to start respecting yourself first.
How do I respect myself?
Treat yourself nicer, sir.
But I fucking suck at my job, and it's fucking.
Does this go
the
back to what we?
school's fault.
Does this go back to what we were talking about before with the treating yourself with compassion?
Yeah.
So you before was like you're like I suck or blah blah blah. Instead of how would you talk to a friend if they were going through something else? You would navigate them through it. You'd be honest. You'd say, "Nah, this is the reason this is fucked up, or this is the reason you keep fucking up." But this is how you can get out of it.
How do you teach someone to be nicer to themselves?
Yeah, that's
Start with self-talk.
Yeah,
It's always a really good one.
yeah.
If you can do some inner child work, it usually comes from an inner child issue, like a childhood issue. We get programmed into, feeling like we're a burden, all that sort of stuff. But go and do either some NLP, some mindset work, some trauma therapy, some fucking kinesiology. Go and see someone to help you because 95% of who you are is unconscious.
Yeah.
And so you just trying to get into it. If you don't have the tools, if you don't have the training, if you don't have the understanding, you trying to get into that is going to be really hard.
all right.
I guess we're coming up from, we've already done stuff like this. There's people that listen that have never spoken to anybody ever about what's gone on in the past or whatever. So for me, I'm like, oh, that's fucking easy. I've done that with Chelsea 100 times, or we've like Mo does like trauma informed practice. That's stuff that's normal to me. But if you've never even done that before, even just speaking to someone is going to be a huge difference. Or because you speak to someone and they get to look inwards, think about stuff that's happened in your life. If you've never even done that, just reaching out to any professional in any industry that looks at self-reflection.
Any sort of introspection is good. So if you're like, fuck man, I'm a 50-year-old dude and I work on the mines and I've got some shit going wrong in my life and I want to fix it, but I don't want to talk to anyone. And I've had those clients.
Yeah.
So I fucking get it. But just start by writing down your thoughts and start by getting in that witness brain that we were talking about. So actually observing the shit that's going on for you. Write it all down and go, okay, cool. How am I creating this possibly?
Yeah.
What would be the possible, with curiosity and no self-blame or judgment? It's like, okay, cool. I'm the common denominator for everything that's going on in my life. What is it within me? Where was the first time I felt disrespected?
Yeah.
Oh, I got bullied when I was 10.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that pattern seems to have then followed me throughout my entire life. Let's go back to that and give compassion to that 10-year-old.
Yeah. That's something I did with Boris when we were doing, I was trying to do the past life stuff, didn't quite get to it, couldn't get hypnotized enough. But one of the trauma points that we got back to was a fight that my mum and my grandma was having, and I had to be the man and kick my grandma out. But like, he was like, oh, see that kid where I was crying? He's like, give him a hug as the man you are now. And that was super powerful because it was like I was 10 and I'm fucking crying, but I was visualizing myself now giving myself a hug. And it was like, fuck, dude, you're like a 10-year-old boy. Like, I'm a full man now. I can look after him.
Yeah.
But I had never really connected those dots before.
So interestingly enough, when we're doing any sort of regression, because it's all happening at once, but any sort of regression therapy like that, it's the same as what I was talking about, manifesting backwards, right? We're going back to the past neural pathways that have been set in a certain way, and we're changing those so that we get a different result in the future. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm going to do some manifesting straight after this.
Okay, let's go through it really quick. You've got 5 minutes. Potentially, we can we just did a role play, I guess, didn't we? We could do real. Do you have anything real that you want to work through? On thing? We can go through. I already mentioned money blocks.
Not really. I'm in a good place right now.
I already mentioned my money blocks before, like not being able to burst through to the next one and never struggling but never being comfortable.
Yeah.
So
I've got one with you as well.
You only got 5 minutes. So
That's all right. We can do that.
Yeah, let's work through that now. So what's okay? I'm coming to you because I can't break through this money barrier.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, of course.
First one would be, what's actually really, what are the responsibilities that you think you're going to have to take on with more money?
In my current job, time.
Time.
Yeah, time.
Right? And so if you've got to have more time to that job in order to earn more money, because that's your belief system that you have to exchange time for money right now, would I be correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yep, cool.
Yeah.
So if you think you've got to have more time in order to earn more money, what is that time taking you away from?
What I really want to do.
Which is?
This.
Okay.
And my family, obviously. My daughter, friends, and this.
Okay. Because the next question is, who do you think you're going to lose if you break through that money ceiling? Or which person in your life that's important are you going to lose the time from in order to get that goal?
Yeah. My time with my daughter. Time with my friends, and this again.
Okay.
Those three.
So with this, because this seems to be the crux of the issue, if this was a really successful podcast, I mean, it's already successful, but if this was like Rogan level,
yeah,
what about you would have to change?
Nothing.
Really?
No, not in regards to the. Actually, what would have to change? The amount of time I could put into it.
Right. So where is your time being sucked out now?
With my work.
Okay. So why wouldn't you take a leap of faith and quit your job?
That's what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening, yeah. Which I am taking a leap of faith into something that doesn't earn money. And next to nothing.
So the next, and my last question actually would be, what's actually really good about where you are right now in your life?
Right now, life balance.
Financial security.
Reasonable financial security. But because I'm halfway through the leap,
yeah,
I've slowly leapt into the leap. It's becoming less. So I'm getting scared.
It's terrifying to the survival brain. Going into any unfamiliar territory is always going to be fucking terrifying.
Last week was hectic.
Yeah.
I started getting anxious. There was other things going on, but it was literally, it's creeping up. And I'm like, the foreseeable future is scary.
Yeah, especially when you've got a kid.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So for all of the parents out there listening, I don't personally get it, but I've worked with many people that are taking these leaps of faith and they've got kids, and it's really, it pushes on those survival buttons a little bit more. So then you got to look at mitigating risk. How can you get all of the financial stuff in play first before you finally just cut that last tie?
It's like what John was talking about.
Yeah, I've set it up basically I've got 7 months now.
Cool.
Left.
Easy.
Slow transition.
So you've got 7 months to get your shit together.
Those 6 months are not. That's when Delby said we're getting our contract. But those 7 months are. They're not. I won't be thriving with shitload of money if there's no other work coming in. It'll be getting by, but it'll be just getting by. But I'm willing to do that.
Every
so
time.
I have to wait till fucking June, like when Delby said, Jesus fucking Christ.
This is where you take real control over your brain.
Okay.
Because every time you allow your brain to go into the what ifs, oh my God, what if I don't get this contract in June? Oh my God, what if I fuck this all up? What if? You're tuning into those realities.
Yeah.
Keep your mind dialed into everything being fucking awesome. That things just start clicking into place. That of course you get someone off this podcast that just wants to throw you $100,000 that wants to sponsor it and all of that.
Yep.
And I guess that's the change up because a few weeks ago I went through the positive mindset. I was like, fuck it, spend money to make money. And I started spending money, paying off all my bills, and all the new bills have come in instead of like just paying them off straight away. I've sort of held off. So after this episode, I'm going to go on and pay them all
Don't worry,
straight away.
I've decided that you're going to do mushrooms about it with me. I've got one last availability before I take a break at the end of the year.
When?
So.
Please say this weekend. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh!
There you go.
I was literally going to say this weekend.
Alignment.
We'll have to do part 2 of this podcast.
I'm going to do mushrooms.
Yeah. Allegedly.
No, I'm doing them. Fuck yes.
we just have to go. We're just going to have to fly you out to a place where they're legal.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll cover the flights.
Nice.
Cool, I'll fly. Yeah, perfect. All right, cool. Thanks. We should definitely do a follow-up. But thanks for coming on. Is there anything you want to plug while you're quickly still here?
Yeah, I've got a couple of courses going at the moment. So I've got my 6-month online course. We do weekly group healing calls. It's a manifestation and healing course called The Vortex. It's a fucking awesome time, and you'll be with a whole bunch of other legends. I've also got a bunch of courses on my website, or you can follow me at Holly Loxton _coach.
Perfect. Delby?
What day are we at?
On Instagram.
I've got nothing to plug. Just quiz Wednesday, and then I've got 2 weddings and a corporate on the weekend. So nothing to plug.
Cool.
Just danieldelby.com.
Yep. I've got nothing to plug.
Actually, I do.
Oh.
I've just created some Christmas stocking fillers.
Yes.
So go to danieldelby.com /shop. But just go to my website, click on the shop. I've created some his and hers, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, Christmas shirts.
Have you got a they,
sexy
them?
ones? Nah, fuck that. So they them can identify as one of the fucking 2. If they want to change how they identify, you can identify as fucking.
Have you got a hole or a pole?
Whatever you want. North Pole. So it's his and hers. Mr. Claus is him grabbing a chick's ass like Claus, and then Mrs. Claus is scratching nails down the back. So it's a sexy his and hers Christmas shirt instead of a lame one. And then I got Santa Claus, the dog. Yep. So I've got like lots of dog merch coming out. He's really cool, like little gangster dog. You can get a dog hoodie, like this little dude. So I'm just trying something off the side. So jump on danieldelby.com. There's going to be a bunch of merch, and then Teacher Comedy Night merch on there as well.
Cool.
Just trying a little side project.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's good. Hit me up for MC work. I've got my first MC. Thank you, Delby, for
You're welcome.
on 2-day conference on Thursday, Friday. Not that you can come. But that's kind of exciting. That is something I'm leaning into with the pod, is the MC work and trying to do more comedy. I've got a few comedy spots coming up, but I can't remember where they were. So aside from that,
but you need $100,000.
Hit up the Patreon, because that genuinely helps at the moment. So any money we can get through that is helping pay for the studio and a bit of extra coin and whatnot. So yeah, cheers, Patreon. That's it. Is there anything else?
That's it.
Nah, sick. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Christmas party, hard yarns.
Oh yeah,
But we'll
Christmas
say
party.
that in pre.
Okay, cool. All right. Hooroo.